Hi everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of Kotak Konversations GCC Spotlight, a series where we explore the dynamic world of global capability centers and the ecosystem that enables their success in India. I am Vishal Sachdeva, your host for today, and I am the head for multinationals and new age banking business at Kotak Mahindra Bank. And today we are diving into a topic that's critical to the GCC story, real estate. As GCCs continue to expand their footprint in India, the demand for innovative, sustainable, and future ready offices has never been higher. And who better to unpack this evolution than a leader who's shaping India's commercial real estate landscape? I'm thrilled to have with me today Mr. Alok Aggarwal, Managing Director and CEO of Brookfield Properties and Chairman of Indian REIT Association. In this episode, we will explore how commercial real estate is evolving to meet GCC demands. Alok, it's a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Vishal. Thank you for having me here.
It's our pleasure. Before we jump into conversation, a quick note for our listeners. If you're enjoying our Kotak Konversations GCC Spotlight, don't forget to subscribe and share. Your support helps us bringing much more insightful discussions for you. So Alok, I'll start with the big picture. GCC is now a $65 billion industry, 3,000 plus centers. As per data available, is expected to become a $100 billion industry by 2030. Yeah. Last 1 year, we read almost 35 million square feet has got leased out by GCCs. How do you see real estate industry preparedness towards this growth of GCCs?
Yeah, Vishal, that's a very, very interesting question. See, GCCs, if they have to evolve in India, grow in India, they can't do without quality real estate.
Yeah.
But let me just kind of a step back and talk a little more about real estate.
Sure.
And I think there are 5 or 6 trends which are kind of playing out in Indian real estate.
Mm-hmm.
And, first thing is, I would say in terms of size, today Indian GDP is about $4 trillion US dollars.
Yeah.
And real estate contributes about 350 to 400 billion US dollars.
Yeah.
Next 20 to 25 years, what we expect is that India GDP could be around 18 to 22 billion US dollars.
Sure.
And real estate would be almost contributing 4 to 4.5 trillion US dollars.
So the contribution should be about 20%.
So contribution will grow to 20%. And this will be as much as the India GDP today, which is today. So just imagine what exciting threshold of real estate we are in. And when we talk about real estate, then it can't be without commercial office spaces.
Yeah.
Of course, there are various asset classes which we are going to come talk about, but it can't be without commercial real estate. And what is more interesting is 4 years back, people said, everybody's going to work from home. People will not come to offices. And the office story is dead. We still believe that there's no substitute for offices. People will have to come back to offices. And today we have been proven right in all measures. So when we talk about commercial offices, this year it's expected that India will lease about 90 million square feet of Grade A office, which is the highest ever leasing which has happened till this year.
Which is service and non-service put together?
This is offices, service, non-services, everything.
Okay.
Last year it was 85 million.
Okay.
Before that it was 80 million square feet. So India is home, India is home to outsourcing. India is outsourcing capital, GCC capital, and so the growth of offices will continue year on year. So that's something I want to talk about. And India, again, what is driving is GCCs and the larger part is outsourcing. India has 51% share of outsourcing globally, and that share is only strengthening. And then the number 2, number 3 players are far behind. So I think that lead what India has taken in outsourcing is unmatched. And when we talk about GCCs today are taking about 35 to 40% space of the gross leasing which is happening. But what is important is when GCCs take space, they go for quality spaces, all grade A spaces, top notch in terms of ESG, top notch in terms of amenity. So that is why GCC is also driving I would say, how the spaces are getting premium and more demanding. So that's happening. When we talk about GCC, you already have said it's about 100 billion potential.
Yeah.
I would say this 100 billion in a good case can go up to 125 to 150 billion, not just 100 billion.
Okay.
The space today GCCs have under them is about 220 million square feet. That can go to 300 plus million square feet in next 5 years.
Okay.
And number of people which GCCs employ, direct employment is about 2.1 to 2.2 million. That can go up to 4.5 million people by 2030. And these are direct jobs. The spin-off in terms of indirect jobs again maybe 2x. So 4.5 million direct jobs and then about 2x indirect jobs. So that's what happened. And again, the lead which India has cannot be bridged because India has 2 million STEM graduates coming out every year and about 0.1 million medical professionals coming out every year from Indian medical colleges. So in terms of talent pool, there's nobody can catch us. Now, what's also GCC doing? Today, 5 years back, 10 years back, GCC would come to India for cost arbitrage.
Yeah.
I would say, maybe the cost of doing business in India as compared to Western Europe or North America was about 10 to 15%. Today, the cost is just one criteria. Other criteria is talent arbitrage. And when we talk to so many GCCs, they say if you want to hire, let's say 5 people, 20 people in their home countries, they can do that. But if they want to hire, let's say 200 people in 3 months, that's not possible. That's possible only in India. That's not even possible in other countries like Vietnam, Philippines, Eastern European countries, Latin countries, which do have GCC presence, but nothing like India. So Indian story in terms of GCC is very, very strong. So that's one thing which is playing out in real estate. Third thing is diversification of assets. Earlier people would talk about residential, commercial, retail to some extent. But today we have new assets in real estate, data centers. And because of data privacy laws, the amount of data center needed in India is humongous, and we are going to see multifold growth in data center assets in India. Logistic, because of implementation of GST, hub and spoke model, efficiencies in logistic. We are going to see a lot of logistic parks coming up. And the quality of logistic parks is far, far better than what it used to be, I would say, 10 years back. So, a lot of new assets coming up in Indian real estate. Fourth thing is REIT. Real estate is getting institutionalized because of REITs. Today, India has 4 REITs, 3 office REITs. Of course, Brookfield REIT is one of them. One retail REIT. At least we feel that in next 15 to 20 years, the market cap of REITs in India would become 15 to 20 times than what we have it today. And the reason is, see, India has 4 REITs, about 95,000 crore market cap. USA has a market cap of 1.5 trillion US dollars. India has 4 REITs, USA has 225 plus REITs. So India's long way to grow, and we are going to see every year maybe 1 or 2 REITs coming up. And I can tell you one thing, the regulator said he has done a phenomenal job in putting a framework who can launch a REIT. They have, and they make it very, very safe for investors to come to REIT. Corporate governance norms are top notch, best in the world, and I would thank regulator SEBI for that. So that's again one trend which is going to happen. And of course, other trend is that when we talk about offices, flex spaces are coming up. And flex spaces means that, if people want, let's say, 1 seat, they want 1 floor, they want 1 full building, they want full campus, that should be available. And GCCs have needs of varying degrees. They also have needs of shorter duration, longer duration, medium kind of duration. So that's where flex spaces play a very, very
So is industry planned for that?
Yes, industry is now almost planned for that.
Okay.
And that has really helped the occupiers to kind of make their real estate strategy. If they need, let's say, 5 seats for 1 month, they don't have to. Earlier they would have to take a long-term lease. So now the flexibility of taking space and giving up their space is very much there. And flex space companies or co-working companies have taken about 11 million square feet space in last year, which was there was a growth of about 57% as compared to last year. So you see the kind of growth which is happening. And we, Brookfield Properties, have a flex space platform called Coworks.
Okay, so you have your own.
We have our own Coworks, and we want to touch. We want to be there with tenants for every need. As I said, 1 seat, 1 floor, 1 building, and I will talk more about that. So that's industry one trend which is coming up. And one very important trend, I would say, is amortization of real estate offices. So offices are not just offices. Today, office has a crèche, F&B, doctor, everything. You have to feel home away from home.
Yeah.
So that's there. Second thing is ESG. We'll talk about it. But today you can't have commercial offices without ESG. GCCs will not take offices which are not compliant in terms of ESG. And third thing is tech. While real estate is slightly behind tech, but I think it's catching up. And tech develop in India, that's changing how the experience in commercial real estate buildings or offices is being enhanced. Smart buildings, agile workspaces, we'll talk more about it. So these are 5 factors which are, kind of really changing how Indian real estate is evolving.
Yeah. So to build on, Alok, what you said people have to come back to offices. But you always keep hearing that debate of hybrid versus people being in office, especially in service sector. How are you seeing that trend? And basis that, how do you plan your demand? How much is actual demand versus how much is anticipated demand? Because you said that people have to come back, but you still see challenge in getting back people who've not come to office so soon. How do you do that?
No, so very interesting question, and I would say last 3 years. So let's accept one thing, that hybrid working is here to stay.
Okay.
We all developers, even Brookfield Properties, we say what works best for employees, what works best for tenants. That works best for us. So we are happy that hybrid working is here to stay. Work from home has become more acceptable. But homes cannot be substituted for offices.
Correct.
That's something very clear. And so just one thing I want to tell you, before COVID, most of the tech companies or IT companies, today their real estate portfolios are down to, let's say, 60 to 70% of what portfolio they had that time.
Correct.
And their headcount is almost 50% to 100% more than what they have that time.
Yeah.
So they already have shed their real estate portfolios. And today, for any more hiring or for any more people who come back to work, they need to take space. So I think the balance has already been reached.
So are you saying it is already streamlined?
It
Can't go down. It has to anyways grow.
Numbers are talking
people
now.
come. Yeah.
80 million, 85 million, 90 million.
Correct.
So numbers are talking.
Yeah.
The occupancy of large developers has moved up. Last year it used to be around 80%. Today it's 90%. Overall portfolio occupancy has
on the
moved
commercial
real estate has moved from 80 to 90%. So we see rentals are firming up. So that debate is settled now. People will keep going back to offices, and hybrid working is going to stay. What we have done is, in all our campuses, we have about 5 to 10% is a flex space.
Okay.
Which you can say is amenity, which you can also say that people can take the space on need basis. They can scale up, they can scale down. So that's how things.
So are you saying almost
planned out.
around 10% is anticipated demand versus the real demand? Is that how you would say?
No, I would say, so let me give you an example. If any GCC wants to come to India, they probably will not like to make a long-term commitment.
Correct.
They say, let's start with maybe say 50 seats,
Okay.
100 seats. And they want a plug and play. They don't want to do fit outs, take a space on lease, do a fit out. That's something they don't want to go. So we would offer them a ready space. They say, okay, these 100 seats, they're ready. You take it actually. And they would operate out of that office for maybe, let's say, 1 year, 1.5 years, till they decide what location they want to be, what is going to be their long-term strategy in terms of employees, how many employees they're going to hire. Because after all, when you come to a location, that's time you take 6 months to 1 year you take to firm. So that's how it would be. And 5 to 10% space is a hybrid space, but that generally remains occupied.
Okay.
That remains occupied. Somebody will go and somebody will come. So that's how it's going to play out.
Okay. So it's largely then demand-based creation or a vision of demand to creation.
So good question. And I would say both.
Okay.
I would say both. So you also need to have seats ready, which could be speculative in nature. Out of a large campus of 4 million square feet, you would probably keep 400 seats ready.
Yeah.
Somebody comes, you can catch him. And also, you can provide them space. You can catch the tenant and provide them space. And then demand based also. So we also have launched something called Enterprise Plus.
Okay.
So that's a model where what happens is he wants to take a real estate space. He wants us to do fit outs. He wants us to manage the entire office and its operations.
Okay.
We will step in. They will add a single check for their operations, for the electricity, for the rent, for the CAM. They don't have a real estate teams to deal separately with, or admin teams to manage the operations, to manage the developer.
So you take away everything.
We take care of everything. And that's also working very, very well. So Enterprise Plus model is something what we have launched. And there are not many tenants who would like to go for that arrangement. So that's demand based, what you said.
Yeah.
So that's demand based. But also you need to keep speculative as an amenity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of our tenants, they want 100 seats for 2 months. I don't want them to go and step out of the campus. It's our responsibility to make sure that they're comfortable and they're able to meet all of their demands.
So the amenities plus is also being taken by people who are taking smaller capacities, or even larger capacity players are also taking this as an option.
Yeah. So this is all Enterprise Plus. So both. Some people who want small offices, they're also taking. Then some large tenants who would probably have 80%, 90% portfolio as fixed, but 10% portfolio can go variation. It can be short term space taker, it could be slightly medium term space taker. So all, let be a large IT company would take 90%, 95% as a committed portfolio for long term, and maybe 5-10% they could take for a shorter duration. Both it plays out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You also touched upon your co-working business.
Yes.
We saw one data in the recent past, about 150 plus GCCs have got registered in India. Yeah. And like you said, initially they want to start with smaller space and then they want to grow. How does your co-working space play in there? If you want to share the trends that you see as part of your business and how the other industry players are looking at this smaller demand requirement.
Yeah, so today when co-working or flex space operators started, maybe thinking was that, they would cater to smaller demand. But now trends have evolved. They would create for small in terms of area, that demand as well. They would also cater to demand which is not for longer duration.
Okay.
That also get catered because traditional developers would ask for long-term leases. They will not go for short-term leases. That's a traditional kind of a mindset.
Yeah.
But flex space operators, co-working players, and our co-working company also, we are able to cater for short-term and long-term demand. And in all our campuses, as I said, we are keeping 5 to 10% as a flex space. Now it could be Enterprise Plus, it could be speculative basis. We also have launched something called Atelier Suites, which are exclusive suites for about 15 to 20 people, maybe a CXO, CEO level people, they want to take small dedicated teams, or GCCs coming to India first time, starting with small offices, high-end offices, they can take those suites. And so
For smaller
various offerings,
capacities.
smaller capacity. So various offering. The idea is to able to meet each and
What is needed.
every demand of tenant.
Yeah.
That's how thinking is.
You also touched upon sustainability, and we also, see all enterprises, large enterprises wanting to go green. Is it really a point of discussion, and are they willing to pay a premium for that?
So today, in last 1 year, whenever we meet a large tenant or occupier, one thing they will definitely talk about is green buildings and ESG. They may not talk about your rentals. They may not talk about anything else, but they just want to ensure that your buildings are green and they're sustainable. So it's a question of, it's a hygiene today. It's not an optional kind of a thing. You have to have green buildings. And let me just kind of step back. In 2015, when Brookfield property started, ESG was like something which was starting. At that time also we said, let's focus on ESG. Let's establish industry standards. Let's be ahead of that. And 2017, in our Gurgaon campuses, we dedicated 66 kVA substations. So that use of DG sets in Gurgaon was eliminated in 2017 itself. So that's what we did. Today, when we talk about green building, what is our focus is that we should be able to provide green energy. In North India, all our campuses have 40% energy as green energy. That green energy is sourced from a 1,500-acre solar farm which our group company has put up in Rajasthan. So we source green energy from that solar farm. And our campuses have 40% energy as green. This is going to go to 100% by 2027. So all our campuses will have 100% energy as green energy by 2027. Yeah. And then,
This is Gurgaon or other than Gurgaon?
No, on a pan-India basis. Right now, when not Gurgaon, entire North. Which is Gurgaon, which is Delhi, which is Noida. Which is almost about 40 to 45% of our total portfolio. That's one. Second thing is zero water discharge. Our aim is to minimize the discharge of water from our campuses. And that's something we are working actively to achieve that. And the water discharge has been on a reducing trend from last many years. Then third thing is zero waste. Ecoworld campus in Bangalore is the first net zero waste campus in Asia. And now we have been able to achieve that in many campuses in our portfolio. So these are three trends I'm talking about. Then all our campuses are platinum rated green campuses. Not just buildings are platinum rated, campuses are platinum rated. They are BE triple star. This means the energy efficiency is maximum per unit of office area. Then they have Code of Honor from British Safety Council. This means top notch in terms of safety and security. So today GCCs will not touch a building which either has not been rated by either LEED or IGBC, which is Indian Green Building Council, or GREHA. So GCCs will not touch them. So question whether there's a premium is slightly not there, because I think non-green buildings will not be taken. People can take them for short term, otherwise buildings have to be green. They have to be kind of top-notch in terms of sustainability.
So then you're saying not only you, industry is also moving towards that.
Industry
because
has no
that's
option.
what customers want.
Yes, industry has no option but to move towards that. Of course, we have been ahead of the game. We and other top developers have been ahead of the game. But whatever grade B office spaces are there, either they will have to be redeveloped and converted to green buildings, or they will, kind of lose their tenants.
There is also a lot of discussion around right now concentration mostly in top 7-8 cities. In fact, recently, Finance Minister also urged industry to also look at tier 2, tier 3 cities to create employment there. How do you see that? And any promising cities you are seeing as part of the growth story, which could be next to these 7-8 cities?
Yeah, so true. No, very, very good point actually. So India, if you see, when I talk about 90 million square feet leasing, bulk of that is happening in top 8 cities, but trends are changing. I would not include tier 3 cities right now,
Okay.
but there are about 20 to 25 tier 2 cities
Okay.
which are catching up. See, bulk of leasing, bulk of space take up would still keep happening in tier 1 cities.
Okay.
But as a pie is growing, the percentage of space take up in tier 2 cities is also increasing. What's driving that? And that is something has been work in progress since last 15 years.
Okay.
But what has changed in last 15 years? One thing is government is investing about 125 billion Indian rupees annually in creating infrastructure, in improving connectivity. And in next few years, we would have about 250 airports.
Yeah.
India will be so well connected. It will be third largest, probably it's already the third largest market for air travel. India will be so well connected. And third thing is digital infrastructure. These three things will ensure that tier 2 cities also get their fair share of office space take up, job creation, and GCCs. And we should also not forget that, some GCCs where in some of the operations where the cost is a focus, they will go for tier 2 cities as well. So tier 2 cities fast catching up, about 22 to 25 cities. Still, I would say 8, 9 cities would continue in forefront, but tier 2 cities are catching up. That's how it's playing out.
So you're saying initial thought could be cost, but as infrastructure and digital infra catches up, then they would also catch up.
They're catching up. I mean, it's a work in progress.
Okay.
It's work in progress, yes. And Vishal, one fundamental change which has happened, I would say, in last 10 years, and which is very, very important for growth of GCCs in India and establishing India as a GCC country or GCC capital globally, is that when GCC started, of course, it was about cost, and then it has become cost and talent. But today, I would say GCCs have moved from non-core to core, from operations to strategy. And what does it mean? It means is earlier they would do routine business operations from India, but today they are doing R&D, they are doing design, they are doing robotics, doing everything which can be done anywhere globally. They are getting it done from India. This means it's again leading to innovation.
Yeah.
This again means that every operation could be outsourced to India.
Yeah.
And that's one thing which has fundamentally changed how GCCs are going to expand and how GCCs look at India.
So you're saying cost arbitrage plus value add now.
Yes, cost arbitrage plus value add.
Yeah.
And the combination of both is not 1 plus 1 is not 2.
Yeah.
It's far more.
Yeah.
I'm not saying how much, but far more.
Yeah. So lastly, Alok, we spoke about ecosystem. How do you see ecosystem players that get into a GCC, which is a consultant who is involved at a origination stage, a real estate company like you, a hiring company, and then there is a bank who gets into the ecosystem when they are in India? How do you see all of us as ecosystem partners working together? Since you said it is finally what customer wants, how could we work together to build that?
Yeah, that's an excellent thought. And in the journey of GCCs, when they first think of whether they should outsource,
Yeah.
and then strategizing how to outsource, where to outsource, which city they should come in, and then finally journey of establishing the offices, and then kind of from the start to begin.
Yeah.
I think we as a team should collaborate and probably touch base with GCCs at very inception stage.
Yeah.
See, today most of the multinationals or large companies, they get questioned if they do not have an India strategy. So every company need to have an India strategy.
And we are as much an Indian company.
We are as much Indian company. So most of the multinationals, global companies, when they start thinking of the India strategy,
Yeah.
that time we should touch base them. And then along in their journey of whatever steps it takes, thinking about it, focusing on it, coming to India, scaling up the operations, we should handhold them, work as a team to make their life comfortable, enable them to grow, enable them to contribute efficiently, because if their operations become very, very seamless, I'm sure that's again going to spur the growth. So that is where we have to join hands and handhold them and work with them from the day where they think about it, to the scaling of the operations.
To add to that, we at Kotak are really excited about this space. We are very, very much focused here. And our focus is also that we get into them at the early in stage, handhold them in their growth journey, when they are hiring people, including handling their payments, handling their entire banking part, and make them a full-fledged ecosystem partner as they are growing. That's our focus as well.
Fantastic. That's how it's going to work best.
I agree. So we finally covered through the next phase of commercial real estate growth, flexible workspace, sustainability, and how we see the tier 2, tier 3 markets growing as the GCC grows. This was really insightful, Alok. Really thankful to have you here.
Thank you, Vishal. Very nice discussion. Thank you for that.
It's our pleasure. Always our pleasure.
Thank you.
And to our viewers, thank you so much for joining in for Kotak Conversations GCC Spotlight. Stay tuned for more. Thank you.